And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get ready for race number 13 of the season for the TaxSlayer Truck Series. Continuing on our chase towards the chase for the championship, getting set here as we are still within the state boundaries of Arizona. We were at Phoenix last week. This week, we were at Arizona Speedway, another mile-and-a-half racetrack that could very well play into fuel strategy races during the course of tonight's TaxSlayer Truck Series race, tomorrow's Pizza Hut X Series race, and capping it off with the Hershey's Cup Series event here at the end of the weekend. And last week at Phoenix, we saw the start of what I pretty much thought was going to happen pretty much as early as the first half of the regular season, to be honest, with our first repeat winner going to victory lane, and that was Charles Jackson. So Charles Jackson right now has himself in the best position possible to be in one of those limited 8 spots in the chase for the TaxSlayer Truck Series Championship right now, since he would automatically jump up with those 2 wins to the number 1 seed. He's got to keep himself in the top 30 in the point standings, and with that second win, he was able to do just that. He jumped 18 spots in the points last week, up to 7th. He was 25th in points going into that Phoenix race. So it just shows you what stage points and stage wins can do as far as being able to propel you up through the point standings. So Jackson now finds himself in the top 10 in points with 2 wins, and right now in a very good position to make the TaxSlayer Truck Series chase for the championship. But you got a lot of drivers that have wins this season that would like to get multiple wins, but on the same plane, you've got drivers that don't even have a trip to victory lane yet that would love to be able to get one. You got to look here at the front row. Gabe Williams in the 13 comes into this race having a very struggling year. He is 41st in the point standings out of 42 drivers. Alongside of him, you've got Ryan Brommer, who is actually having a really good season. He is 6th in the points, but neither one of these drivers have been to victory lane yet. You look back at Stuart Gratton starting off there in 3rd place. He's also looking for his first win. And then you've got Nick Johnson, our winner from Talladega. He's looking for win number 2. And Charles Jackson with another good qualifying run. He's going to roll off 5th, trying to go for maybe a 3rd Truck Series victory, which I think if he could get a 3rd win, that would be a definite confirmed lockup spot in the chase for the championship. 2 wins right now is a pretty much tentative lockup, but we have to wait and see, what happens in the upcoming weeks, because it doesn't necessarily mean we may not have a couple of other drivers be able to get 2 wins as well. But we'll get to that bridge when we come to it. We'll cross it when we come to it. For now, let's go down trackside, get command to fire up the engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
And as there's the command, 41 laps of racing here tonight, and so our stages are going to be 10, 10, and 21, I'm sorry. So a very longer stage 3, which could play a big factor, and it really could be important too, because somewhere within the completions of stages 2 and 3 could be where we end up having the potentiality of a fuel strategy race. Time to give you your top 10 in points coming into this race, presented by Golden Corral. A Garcia continues to increase his points lead as Tristan Allen went flying by for some reason. But he has a 70-point advantage, does Garcia, over Ryan Madden. Tristan Allen, who we just saw flying by, is 3rd in the point standings. 4th in points is Tyler Deaver with Joseph Srigley 5th, and it's Ryan Brommer, last week's winner Charles Jackson, Jessica Miles, Stuart Gratton, and Seth Cole are your top 10. I think Tristan Allen's coming to pit road for an unscheduled stop, and he bypassed everybody so he can get to pit road quicker, get whatever the issue is done as soon as possible, and get out there, maybe stay on the lead lap. Whatever the case, though, we are getting set to go racing. The pace truck will pull to pit road, and the Alpha Energy Solutions 250 here at Arizona Speedway is green. Let's roll. Williams early advantage out in front by about a truck length. Stuart Gratton moves into 2nd, but will he hang on to that spot for long? Here comes Charles Jackson to the bottom. He wants the runner-up position, and looks like he might take it. Out of turn 4, caution is out. That didn't take long. Lap 1, and we already have a yellow flag. And it must have happened near the rear of the field, because I don't really see anybody really spread out from each other up here at the front, even to mid-pack. So caution out for the first time here tonight. Looks like we had a spin on the back straightaway. So let's take a look at a replay of what brought out this first yellow flag here at Arizona. And this might be a big break as well for Tristan Allen, because I don't know if he got back onto the racetrack or not. We'll document that when we come back. But Gabe Williams out in front. Let's see what brought out our first yellow here this evening at Arizona Speedway. Well, this is what brought out the caution. We are all the way back here just around the time we're going green, and we're looking at the 97 of Julius Anderson. Now, we saw Tristan Allen come to pit road. Jake Moss in the 24 also came to pit road, and apparently issues here as well for Julius Anderson. You're going to notice as soon as the green flag drops, everyone's going to get going, but the 97 is not. And so a lot of mechanical issues plaguing drivers very early on in this one. Moss on pit road, Allen on pit road, and there you see the 97 Carolina Nut Toyota Tundra does not get going. Everybody is stacked up behind him. And with that, him not going, let's now show you what happens over in turn 2. You'll notice here the 94 is going to get a run on the high side. Anderson, I don't think, sees Nicholas Rail coming. He moves up to get out of the way of Eli Bright and company. And there they both go into the wall. And wow. Oh, Tyler Deaver did get a piece of that there with the right front. Don't know how significant that damage is going to be on a driver that came into this race 4th in the point standings. But Julius Anderson and Nicholas Rail, and that's a tough break for the 94 of Rail, because he came into this race 27th in the point standings. Former winner this season. He's got to keep himself in the top 30 to have that win count towards one of the 8 playoff spots. So I don't know how badly damaged these cars are, but obviously the 97 still, I would think, is not up to speed. There is something definitely wrong under the hood. But Tyler Deaver and Nicholas Rail get some damage here in an early caution at Arizona. Well, as we get ready to go back green flag racing, we already have a driver out of the race, and it's a driver that never even really got to get into this race, and that's Jake Moss. We don't even really know what the actual mechanical issue was. It just simply says retired after his name, but tough break there for Jake. Tristan Allen did not get off pit road ahead of the leader, so he is, as you can see, on the inside line, 1 lap down underneath Gabe Williams. Nicholas Rail has continued on, and Julius Anderson is still on the lead lap there in the 97, although I'm pretty sure he's down a cylinder or something. I doubt that it was an easy fix on pit road. Maybe he's up to speed. I don't know. We'll follow the 97 here as we get ready to go back green flag racing with Gabe Williams out in front. Charles Jackson's in second. Michael Whitman third. Martin Czekala is in fourth. And in fifth is Stuart Gratton. Then it's Brommer in seventh. Or make that sixth, rather. Seventh place Dylan Theroux. Then Nick Johnson, Marcus Saatchi, and Darren Davidson. Green flag back in the air on lap number 6. Tristan Allen appears to be up to speed, and he might help Michael Whitman, who's now on the bottom, be able to get by these guys on the high side for the race lead. But you got 3 drivers up top, 2 drivers down low on the straightaways. That top side's going to get more of a run, but they're going to go 3 wide for the race lead. Whitman's going to stick Allen in the middle. Oh, they're 3 wide further back there. Nick Johnson and Marcus Saatchi putting Marty Czekala in the middle. And here's the drag race to the line. Give the spot to Michael Whitman. He'll lead that lap. And look at the big run Nick Johnson got on the front straightaway. Now he's all over the back bumper of the Dr. Pepper Chevy. Gonna try to get to the inside line, and he will get to the left rear, it looks like, at least by the time they get down here into 3. Nick Johnson, former winner this season at Talladega Superspeedway, would love to be able to pick up his second win of the season, put himself locked into the chase for the championship here in the TaxSlayer Truck Series, and he will lead that lap. Now we're going to quickly, as this battle is ensuing, just jump back and find the 97. 97 appears to be up to speed. There he is, trailing Ryan Madden, last time out's runner-up finisher to Charles Jackson last week. Tyler Deaver a little off the pace. There's some damage on the 29 of Carter Friesen. He's got no hood, and Nicholas Rail back here as well, and he appears to be slightly off the pace also in the 94. As up front, we got a bit of a breakaway. I think that's the top 8 trucks that have separated themselves back to 8th place Zach Rogers, who now gets by Gabe Williams. He's following in the tire tracks of Eli Sazak as they both work their way by the 8 of Ryan Brommer. And then behind them, we got a battle going on between Mason Wood and Isaac Nicholls. That's another former winner who's trying to get his second win of the season. Right behind him, another former winner at Las Vegas. That's the 88 of Jonathan Zoerlein. So we're seeing some drivers now starting to work their way up here, realizing that Charles Jackson kind of did what they want to do and get win number 2 to have themselves locked into a spot in this season's chase for the championship. Now, normally the races we have here at Arizona Speedway are usually caution-free. I think that our only caution so far tonight was a bit of a freak caution with the problems that Julius Anderson was happening. I honestly think that we more than likely would be green flag racing still to this point if we had not had a mechanical issue on the 97. This track is pretty spacious. These drivers can go 3 wide in the corners and keep it together, and all 3 lines can normally move as well. We've seen drivers be able to use the middle line, the high line, and of course right down there on the orange line at the very bottom of the racetrack. Most drivers prefer that middle groove that you can see the leader Nick Johnson using. So that's usually why these kind of racetracks play into a fuel strategy race, because normally we don't have very many cautions. Now we're going to have to see if that one yellow that came out back on lap number 1, if that's going to play a factor into whether these drivers can make it or not. How much fuel were they able to save under the pacing? Martin Czekala has now moved up into the 2nd position. Czekala coming into this race is 20th in the point standings. We haven't really talked a lot about him this season, but he's just kind of been there. Been pretty consistent. I mean, when you're running top 20 in the points, that's pretty consistent. You're in the top half of the field for the season. And Martin Czekala right now comes into this race ahead of a number of drivers that have a 1 in the win column. So if he picks up a win, that could very well put him into the chase. And I think we're under yellow. Yes, we are. We had another spin off of turn 2. This is very unusual. Normally we don't have this many yellow flags at Arizona Speedway, so this is a little bit different for me. Normally this track doesn't present itself as a wreckfest track, and it looks like these drivers were going to be short on fuel, and looks like they're going to remedy that by coming to pit road here under this caution, because they may not get another yellow flag to be able to make a pit stop. So we'll follow this down pit road, because this could be pretty much the money stop that decides who's going to be the winner of this race. 29 of Carter Friesen is back on pit road. Don't know if he necessarily was the caution or not. Another car on pit road there, and I can't make out who that is. I think that's the 0 of Alex Gray. And they're going to go at least for 2 tires. I think this will more than likely be a 4-tire stop, because we are here in Arizona, so it is still hot. There still is heat, and Michael Whitman's down and away. Look at this, Joshua Hyatt trying to beat Nick Johnson off pit road, didn't do it. Hyatt comes out 3rd with Jackson in 4th. So Michael Whitman's team, I don't know if that was a 4-tire stop. That looked almost like a 2-tire stop there on the 33. But he will inherit the race lead as a result, so we'll have to see if that pans out in his favor or not. So Michael Whitman leads us now under our 2nd caution. Let's see what brought out the yellow flag. This was right in the middle of the pack. Alex Gray in the middle 3 wide. Stuart Gratton to his outside, and Gray just kept drifting up the racetrack there. Gratton couldn't give him any more room practically. They get here off the exit of turn number 2, and there you see the contact between the right rear of the 0 and the right or the left front of the 31, and wow, Alex Gray up and over onto his roof. That is a wild ride for the CarQuest Chevy. Former winner this season at Bristol, Stuart Gratton, who came into this race 9th in points, and then we're going to have some stragglers that are come into view here, and they're going to get involved in just a moment. Tyler Deaver's going to squeeze through. Nobody's going to get involved. There's Carter Friesen getting involved, and then right there, Nicholas Rail going to get involved as well. So Deaver, Rail, and Friesen, who were just kind of riding with their damaged goods, trying to salvage what they could, they get caught up in this one as well. Tough break there for Alex Gray. He dropped 6 spots in the standings last week to 15th, and now he might drop outside the top 20 in points, and that's going to put him down in the standings, hopefully not anywhere near that 30th in the point standings cut line, but this also hurts Nicholas Rail as well. As we mentioned, Rail coming into this race 27th in points, so it's getting down to crunch time for a number of these drivers, having to get themselves away from that danger zone of 30th in the point standings, and some drivers not doing that here tonight so far at Arizona. Getting ready to go back green here on lap 17 of 41. Michael Whitman gets us back underway, and I was just looking to see where Michael Whitman is in the point standings. He's 28th in points. So if he picks up a win, he would be inside the top 30 in the standings. So very interesting strategy on the part of the 33, and he gets us back underway, gets around Tristan Allen, and now will open a little bit of a gap between himself and second place, which is now under contest between a couple of former winners this season. Charles Jackson in the 4, Nick Johnson in the 42. Drivers out of the race after our latest incident include Stuart Gratton, Alex Gray, Tyler Deaver, and Carter Friesen. Mentioned Alex Gray with a win, going to drop in the point standings. Well, this is also going to hurt Tyler Deaver, who was up to 4th in the standings. This is going to probably knock him outside of the top 5 in points, and Stuart Gratton came into this race 9th in points, so he'll more than likely fall outside of the top 10. 37 trucks still running, 36 of them on the lead lap as Michael Whitman out in front. And then the battle is on for second behind the lap machine of Tristan Allen. Charles Jackson has it. Zach Rogers there in that group along with Joshua Hyatt. Hyatt definitely looking to rebound after a dismal run last week at Phoenix. Hyatt came into that Phoenix race 4th in the point standings. He left 14th in the point standings, dropped 10 spots, so trying to bounce back here tonight. Talk about another driver that's trying to bounce back. How about Seth Cole? Right there, currently running in the, I believe that'd be about the 6th position now, as he will get by Joshua Hyatt for what would now be 5th place. Seth Cole a few weeks ago was, I think he was heading into Darlington 2 weeks ago, trying to run down Ace Garcia for the points lead, and now he finds himself 2 weeks later all the way down in the 10th position in the points. So he has dropped a number of spots in the standings as well, and trying to bounce back here. He will get around Nick Johnson for 2nd. Joseph Srigley right with him. He'll move into 3rd, and there comes that 2nd entry out of BK Racing. Brad Keselowski Racing, the 19 of Isaac Nicholls, former winner this season. And here comes our Daytona race winner, Tony Green. Tony Green has been steadily trying to work his way back up towards the 30th position in the points. He spent a number of weeks outside the top 30, so his win at Daytona wouldn't count towards a chase spot. Last week he moved up to 33rd in points, and having another solid outing here tonight is the 21 car, or 21 truck. Michael Whitman out in front. You gotta wonder how soon these drivers might be able to catch him because of the CTS physics. Seth Cole, Zach Rogers, but if they continue to battle for 2nd, it's just going to allow Whitman to continue to pull away, and Rogers now will get by Seth Cole. Gets a big run there through turn 2, and now we got to watch and see if the number 39 Dow Chevy Silverado will be able to reel in Michael Whitman. One driver we have not seen pop up into the top 10 yet, which actually surprises me, but yet we're only just about halfway, so it's still early. And that's the 51 of Ace Garcia, our points leader. It seems like every single week he pops up into the top 10 from out of nowhere. There he is. Last time by, he was scored in the 25th position. And Ace Garcia, we're going to have to see if he can work his way back up into another miracle top 10. Got a lot of work to do and a lot of trucks to pass. As up front, battle on for the 3rd position. Nick Johnson has it. Jonathan Zoerlein wants it. Shane Lake there in the 43, trying to get by Seth Cole. That is for the 5th position. So now move Shane Lake into the top 5. Little contact there between himself and Nick Johnson as he tried to side draft to get 4th place. Gotta be careful there. Shane Lake currently finds himself in the 17th position in points. And that gap between Rogers and Whitman, it closed up big time that lap. And Rogers is all over the back bumper of the 33. This almost a full second and a half ahead of third place Jonathan Zoerlein. So Rogers has Whitman all to himself. The question is, though, does he kind of help the 33 draft with him, help them extend their advantage between themselves and third place, and then make the move? Or does he have to make his move sooner rather than later, because that 88 might be able to catch the both of them? Boy, Rogers' car is so good through the center of one into turn 2. Gets a huge run there onto the back straightaway, but Whitman kind of pinching him down, runs about a half groove off the bottom, which allows him to stop any momentum that Rogers gets to be able to get to his left rear quarter panel. Let's see what he does here through 1 and 2. Does he pin him down again? Into the corner, Rogers drives it a little bit deeper, gets the run through the center. And you see right there, if Rogers could let his car drift up off the corner, he'd have that momentum, but he has to bail out of the throttle or else he'd run into the left rear quarter panel of the 33. Now he's going to try, and he's not quite there. Boy, he tried through 3 and 4. It almost worked, but he couldn't quite get to the left rear quarter panel of Whitman's Chevrolet. Zoerlein there in third. He hasn't really gained ground, but he hasn't really lost ground. He's been maintaining around 1.7 seconds between himself and the 2 race leaders. Keep in mind, these drivers came to pit road back on lap 13, so I don't think that fuel's going to be an issue for these drivers. Boy, Rogers gets such a good run through the center. He just can't continue the momentum off the corner. And it doesn't look like the 33 of Whitman is pinching Rogers, but believe me, he is. If Whitman were running about a half groove higher, Rogers would have room to be able to complete the pass by the time he got off the turn. But you see right there how the 39 drifts up just a little bit? That's because he cannot pinch it all the way down to the bottom and get the momentum because he's not being offered that lane by the 33 Whitman. This time, Rogers runs a little bit higher, almost in the tire tracks of Whitman. Might be trying to get himself a little bit better straightaway speed here going down to turn 1. Meanwhile, the battle is on for third place. Gabe Williams has caught Jonathan Zoerlein, and if those two can stay single file, they may be able to 2-car tandem up to these 2 drivers. They closed about a 1/10 of a second last time. And Gabe Williams has now gotten around Jonathan Zoerlein for third place, and now we're going to have to see if Zoerlein's going to be able to help the 13 and these 2 draft up to the 33 and the 39. Still a ways to go. They tend to go and hit the strike next time by, and they close the gap up again. By about another 1/10 did the 13. Gabe Williams started this race out in front, kind of faded back, and now is charging back up towards the front late in this one. Rogers, he might have a run this time. Can he get to the left rear? Oh, not quite. Boy, he almost had it. Not quite able to get Whitman that time. And don't look in your rearview mirror, guys, because here comes some company. Gabe Williams, Jonathan Zoerlein, and Jordan Lopes have all now started to close the gap, and Rogers realizes it's time to go. Drives it down to the bottom. Can he get to the left rear here into 3? No, he can't. Whitman going to continue to run his line. Rogers trying everything he can, trying any unorthodox line, trying to run where the 33 ain't. But it's not working for him. And these 2 could find themselves in a bit of a pickle in just a moment because that gap that they had between third place and themselves has closed up by almost 6/10 now. Rogers going to try and take another peek, but not enough straightaway speed heading down to 3. And Gabe Williams has caught the draft of the 39. He's starting to close very quickly now on these 2. Lopes is in Gabe Williams' draft, and Zoerlein may have lost them. I don't know. Well, now they're battling for third between Lopes and Williams, so that's going to alleviate some pressure off these top 2 for the moment. Rogers takes a look, still can't quite get to the left rear quarter panel. And now Lopes jumps into the second position. Jordan Lopes, no stranger to being in an NNSCRA chase, as he was in the Pizza Hut X Series chase for the championship. Rogers taking a look low here on the front straightaway, and here comes Lopes in the 23. He's going to dive to the inside on Rogers for second. Gabe Williams now up here in this lead pack as well, and I think Zoerlein will be able to catch if they continue to race side by side. Lopes, big run down the back straightaway. He might be able to get to the inside of Whitman going here into 3. Not quite. Whitman closes the door. Look at Rogers, going to move up to the top side and help the 33. Here comes the 13 of Gabe Williams helping Lopes down low. Lopes will pull alongside of the 33. And Jordan Lopes looks like he will take the lead going into turn 1. Gabe Williams moves to second. Rogers crowding Whitman as he'll move by for third. And here comes the 88 of Zoerlein. Zoerlein already has a win this season at 1.5 miles early on this year at Las Vegas. 5 trucks up in the lead pack. Hitting the line will be Lopes. 5 laps to go. Any one of these drivers could win. 4 of these 5 are looking for their first win of the season. Zoerlein's the only one looking to go to victory lane for the second time this year. Zoerlein coming into this race is 23rd in the point standings. So with a second win, that would put him and Charles Jackson more than likely as locked-in drivers for the chase for the championship. And Lopes right now is kind of maintaining a bit of a gap between himself, Gabe Williams, and Zach Rogers as the 13 and the 39 continue to battle for second place. That's just helping out Lopes. Lopes coming into this race 34th in points. So he could maybe kill 2 birds with 1 stone, move into the top 30 in the standings, as well as pick up his first win of the season in the TaxSlayer Truck Series. 3 laps to go here at Arizona. Can Gabe Williams and Zach Rogers put aside their differences here battling for second to be able to try and reel in the 23 of Lopes? You got to wonder how much Rogers has left with the fact that he spent a good number of laps driving the wheels off that thing to get around Michael Whitman when Whitman was the race leader. But now he has cleared Gabe Williams, and if he can get the draft off the 23, Rogers might be able to do something with Lopes here. But he's going to have only 2 more laps to do it. Lopes the leader, Rogers second, Williams third, Zoerlein fourth. Whitman, who was leading not too long ago, finds himself back mired in the 5th position now. Rogers getting the slipstream off the 23, but is he going to have enough time is the question to be able to reel in the Allegiant Air Travel Chevrolet. White flag displayed, 1 more lap to go. Make that Lopes out in front. Rogers closed the gap just the least little bit that time. He's within 3/10. He's going to need a big run here out of 2 and down the back straightaway. He might get it. Look at this. Can he get to the back bumper of the 23 by the time they get into 3, though? Not quite there, and I don't think he's going to have enough momentum to get him out of turn 4. Closing, but just going to come up short. Jordan Lopes going to hang on and win here tonight at Arizona in the Alpha Energy Solutions 250. Boy, 1 more lap, and Rogers may have had him. He gave it all he had there on that last lap. Came up about maybe a truck length short. So Jordan Lopes will pick up win number 1 on the season. Mentioned he comes into this race 34th in the point standings. Now, while it's going to probably be close on getting him into the top 30 in the point standings, he's going to have to be consistent for the rest of the year because there's a lot of drivers that came into this race ahead of him in the points that had a win, including Jake Moss, Tony Green, Isaac Nicholls, Ciculli, Nicholas Rail, Jonathan Zoerlein. So just because he has a win doesn't necessarily mean he right now is in one of those 8 spots in the chase for the championship. Standings are official though. Lopes will bring it home, his first Truck Series win of his career. Zach Rogers will bring it home second. Gabe Williams, I don't think that truck fell out of the top 10 all night long. Started on the pole, finishes 3rd. Good showing for that Toyota Tundra team. Jonathan Zoerlein will get 4th, and 5th is Michael Whitman, who led a good portion of this race early on, but faded towards the end of the race. Marty Czekala is going to bring it home in 6th. 7th for Isaac Nicholls. Joshua Hyatt in 8th. Jake Rogers didn't talk much about the 52. Great run for him in 9th. And Nick Johnson will complete the top 10. Then it was Shane Lake, Ricky Cervantes, A Yepez, Seth Cole, M Saatchi. That was the top 15 with E Barber, Ryan Madden, Eli Sazak, Patrick Smith, and Tony Green, your top 20. I think this is the first time in a number of weeks that Ace Garcia didn't finish in the top 10. He finished 22nd here tonight. So, don't necessarily know if his points lead is going to be cut down, though, because he finished 22nd. Second in the points, Ryan Madden only finished 5 spots ahead of him in 17th. So I don't think that points gap is going to be cut down by a heck of a whole lot. Maybe down to about 65 points between the points leader Garcia and Ryan Madden. But it's not going to make that much of a difference, I don't think, here this evening as far as that gap between first and second. 2 trucks finished off the lead lap. 36th place Jessica Miles and 37th place Tristan Allen. And then we had 5 drivers out of the race after 2 cautions this evening. Stuart Gratton, Alex Gray, Tyler Deaver, Carter Friesen all out of the race due to crash damage. Jake Moss finishes out of the race in 42nd due to a mechanical issue very early on in the running of this evening's race. But that is going to do it here tonight from Arizona for the Truck Series. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown you full feature results. These are your overall point standings heading into next week's race, which is going to be coming to you from Iowa Speedway. So that's going to be a very interesting race weekend. We'll have trucks and Pizza Hut X Series there. Hershey's Cup Series that weekend will be going dirt track racing at Springfield. But we still have Pizza Hut X Series and Hershey's Cup Series action to bring to you here from Arizona. Those will be coming up next. Till then, I'm Seth Cole signing off. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.